focus on yourself first and foremost, because the better you are, the better you can be for somebody else. You'll also be able to have more grace, compassion, and find forgiveness for someone else as well. Hello, and welcome to the Stroke It podcast. I'm Alday Townsend, your host. This podcast is for individuals that are wanting to grow personally and professionally. The podcast is going to offer mindset shifts, personal experiences from myself and guest. We're also going to provide some great resources, tools, and direction for navigating life. The goal is to inspire you and encourage you to take ownership of your life and begin living it completely fully today. Let's get to stroking it. Hello, and welcome to the Stroke It podcast. Alday Townsend, your host. I'm super excited to be here with you today. I have so much love in my heart, and that's what today's quickie is going to be about. I don't know if many of you know or don't know, I'm hoping that everyone knows the origination of the whole Stroke It concept. And if you don't know, because you're new to the podcast or new because you just bought my book, I'm here to tell you that it was inspired by my husband and I's debacle. What is the debacle? Well, our marriage failed and we were both living separate lives. We were just sharing the same house. I was, trying to be all these things and run a company. It was in the first few years of the startup of my company. And my husband was also trying to, get up corporate and do all the things that he had been looking for. And what ended up happening is we grew apart. We grew into different people and we became very, very unhappy through the process. And we both sought appreciation and love and value from other people other than ourselves and from each other. So the Stroke It concept was born when I discovered that my husband was being stroked by someone else, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So that is where the whole Stroke It concept came from. And the reason I wanted to bring up that story today is because when we were going through the process of recovery and trying to rebuild our marriage and decide whether we were going to throw in the towel or we were going to try to make it work, there was so many emotions and so many things going on. And at one point I lost faith in myself. I lost faith in my marriage and my husband. And it wasn't until someone came to me and they said, if you can make this work with your husband, your marriage will be the best marriage you've ever have or you ever will have in the future. And your marriage will probably be better than most marriages out there. And at that point in time, it's really, really hard to wrap your mind around how could this marriage that was broken, that involved somebody else, and that it caused so much pain and heartache, going to ever be able to be rebuilt? How is it going to ever be put back together? And how will we love each other more after this than we did prior to everything happening? And that's the message that I want to leave you with today is it can be, it will be. And if you are struggling within your relationship, I want to encourage you to do the work. I want to encourage you to look within. And I want you to focus on yourself first and foremost, because the better you are, the better you can be for somebody else. You'll also be able to have more grace, compassion, and find forgiveness for someone else as well. And that is part of my journey and my story as well. And it does take time. I mean, every relationship takes work. I mean, if you just think about just work in general takes work. I mean, if you have a career and you're out there, I mean, you have to go and put in sometimes 7, 8, 10, 15 hours a day at work to basically create revenue or to build a company or to mentor people or to make products or manufacture them or ship. So many things go into that. Now, obviously, there is a financial commitment that's involved with work, but when it comes to relationships with your spouse or your partner, that's going to require as much work, and that will provide so much happiness, so much wealth because of the happiness and the love, and you'll have a really healthy relationship as well. And a testament of that is what I really wanted to share with you today. My husband primarily works from home most days. But today he is at his corporate headquarters. And so I just texted him because I left it around like 7 this morning and I'll be gone till 7:30 tonight. So I just texted him midday to let him know I was thinking about him. And I said, good luck with the 11:30 meeting and the rest of your interactions today. sending you peace and positive vibes. I love you. And his response to me was, thanks, lovey. Have a great day too. You are my everything. And my response to him was, and you are mine. It has taken us 5 years to get to this point, but I will tell you that we both genuinely love each other more than we've ever loved each other, ever. And I feel like we're more connected. When you lose something or like find out something has happened, you basically get a sense of what it's like for that person to be gone. And a lot of times we don't realize what we have until it's gone. And that's kind of like what happened with my husband and I. We got a sneak peek of what life would be without each other. And it was in that moment where we were able to kind of identify with ourselves and each other what life would be like. And we both came to the terms that we didn't actually want that. And so that's when we both made a commitment, the decision to make our marriage work. Made the decision. I will be completely honest with you. That next year, I was still on the fence. I remember I even rented a place by myself on the beach. And I was like, what am I going to do? This was like the end of 2019. And like everything happened February of 2018. So, I'm still like a year and a half into this, like wondering what the heck I'm going to do. And it was at that moment when I was by myself and I kind of reviewed what my life would be and what I wanted. And that's when I made the decision to make the commitment to my husband fully, 100%, get off the fence, stop going back and forth. And I'm so glad that I did that, because here we are, 5, 6 years later, and we have an amazing marriage. And I will say that all the struggles sucked, but it was all worth it, because where we are today is just amazing. And I'm so grateful for our journey, because it also allowed us to make our marriage a priority and focus on each other. And for so many years, our jobs, other things were our priority and not each other. So I want to encourage you, if you are going through a struggle with any relationship, first and foremost, to focus on yourself. Make the changes that you need to make yourself happy. Don't think or don't expect the other person to make you happy. You have to make yourself happy first and foremost. Find things that you love, change your mindset, create time for yourself, travel, meditate, go to the gym, go hang out with girlfriends, go do all the things that fuel you. 86, the things that suck the life out of you, first and foremost. Then once you start to grow and become this happy person, you're going to have less expectations of your partner, first and foremost. But secondly, they're going to see this change. And what's going to happen is you're going to attract like great positivity. You're going to attract love. You're going to attract all these amazing things from your partner. And then naturally, what I believe will happen is that they are going to start to focus on their happiness, or they're going to just want to make you happy because they see the value in you. So once again, start with yourself. Have no expectations of the other partner right now. And eventually, I believe that the two of you will be able to come back together and have some really great conversations, because you'll be in the right mindset to have those conversations, because you're going to see that your marriage is worth fighting for. That person is worth fighting for. And once again, a lot of people get divorced and they throw in the towel. And what ends up happening is they get into a different relationship, unhappy, having regret, wanting to escape, and wishes they were back in the old relationship and would have taken the time to do the work. So save yourself a lot of pain, heartache, frustration, and money before throwing in the towel, because I'm here to tell you that most relationships can be repaired, be rebuilt, and so much love can be there that you just don't know is there. And if you are going to decide to split up and you are going to throw in the towel, I want to encourage you to have a really great exit strategy. Don't just walk out and say, I'm done. Think about what your life is going to be. Think about how much money you're going to need. Think about where you're going to want to live. How is this going to impact your children? How is it going to impact your life and your future, your retirement, all those things? And start analyzing and making a plan of how you're going to address those concerns, those issues, and emotionally, mentally, and financially as well. There are some really great relationship coaches that can help you with making sure you ask the right questions when you hire an attorney. I actually had one of them on my podcast as well. So you want to look for that podcast too. So anyways, just wanted to share the love and tell you all that love yourself first and foremost. Other people will be attracted to you and they're going to love you even more. Season 3 is coming up soon. Super, super excited about that. It's going to be an amazing season. And thank you again for being part of the Stroke It journey. If you haven't got my book yet, make sure to grab my book and get it on Amazon, or you can get it on my website. If you get it on my website, I will personalize it for you, put it in the mail. You'll get a free gift, and then you get a series of emails, and it breaks down all the chapters. So you'll get an email about chapter 1, you'll get a video, you'll get some free downloads, same thing for every single chapter. And the last chapter, for your pleasure, there is some great downloads about keeping it kinky and keeping the passion in the bedroom really, really strong. And so anyways, thanks for tuning in. Once again, if you know anyone that can benefit from this podcast or any of the other episodes, definitely send them this podcast, share it, and feel free to message me and follow me online. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the Stroke It podcast today. If you want to stroke me, please consider giving me a 5-star review, sharing this podcast with 5 of your favorite friends or someone you may think could benefit from the podcast, and consider joining my collective. It's completely free for the first 30 days, and you can go to jennysfreegift.com.